About a week ago on Morning Joe on MSNBC, they ran what effectively was a creepy infomercial for their parent company, Comcast. So take a look at some snippets from it, and then we'll discuss.
Comcast Cares Day is part of our year-round commitment to making a difference. Like with Red Nose Day, when we strive to be the generation that improves children's lives. And the Global Citizen Festival, when we can be the generation that ends global poverty. On Comcast Cares Day, it's our chance to be the generation that helps improve our world, one community at a time. Go to ComcastCorporation.com/Cares Day to learn more.
Tomorrow marks a big event here as we celebrate Comcast Cares Day. Now in its 17th year, it is believed to be the nation's largest single-day corporate volunteer event. And once again, the initiative is locking arms with one of the world's leading nonprofits, Global Citizen.
This is what I think the way we can bring the world to where Mandela wanted us, where corporations don't become expansive and influential just for personal wealth, but for a purpose, so that we have the ability to do good. And I think that's what tomorrow is.
David, I was talking to Hugh beforehand, gender equality, a huge part of what Global Citizen is all about this year. So the opportunity to tie all these parts of our company together, to provide an outlet for us as a company, for our employees, to really make a difference in the communities where our employees live and work is fantastic.
And the diversity, because Mark Morial, that heads the Diversity Council, everybody sits back and says, this is the real deal, and this is what we want to see. We all know that we've got problems with the administration. The real question is what each of us are going to do ourselves.
30 seconds. Give us a great story from last year, how life changed.
I have so many great Comcast Cares Day stories, but I was at a site last year where we were building a computer lab in a school. And the kids are around, their parents are around. We have our technicians there. And near the end of the project, I'm surrounded by a group of the parents. Half of them are crying. So you have no idea what a difference this is making in our community. And without Comcast, we'd have no ability to have this level of teaching, engagement, and helping to bring our kids into the digital age.
Now, a bunch of MSNBC hosts really clutched their pearls and got angry over the Sinclair broadcasting scandal that happened recently. And they were right to get angry over that, because what they showed is that there's this central authority that was dictating what all of these local news anchors and outlets would say. And that shows that there's really no free and independent thought when it comes to local news and outlets owned by Sinclair Broadcasting. And it shows that they're just stenographers for their corporate overlords. That's what that is. That's what that shows. That's what that proves. And people on MSNBC, hosts on MSNBC, pointed that out and scolded it, rightly so, and said, this is Orwellian. This is the so-called fake news that you hear people talk about. This is fake news in real life. That's what this is. This isn't fake. This isn't somebody's idea of fake news. It's actual fake news. But that's exactly what they're doing here. They're doing nothing but a giant puff piece. Is it fluff or puff? Whatever the fuck. Who cares? They're being fluffers. That works. For their corporate overlords. And listen, man, MSNBC was terrible on net neutrality, for example. Why? Comcast would benefit if you get rid of the net neutrality rules. They were terrible on TPP. In fact, I'm sure that's one of the reasons why Ed Schultz was fired. Ed Schultz says he was fired because he supported Bernie Sanders over Hillary Clinton, and they didn't like that. But I think TPP was also a factor. They wanted TPP to pass. So, God forbid the people on what's supposed to be your independent news outlet cover that in a negative way, and Ed Schultz did. Well, we can't have that. Of course, we have the story of Cenk Uygur, who during the Obama years was very tough on Obama and the Democrats and kept prodding them to stop taking corporate money and kept attacking them from the left. And they said, listen, we spoke to our friends in Washington. They don't like it when you do that. And Phil Donahue, of course, opposed the Iraq War. They fired him. His ratings were #1 on the network. But because he opposed the Iraq War at a time when the administration was pushing for it nonstop, the poll numbers had swung in favor of the Iraq War. No, we can't have this guy being a dissenting voice here. So MSNBC is a fucking horror show. they're not free and independent. It's obvious they're not free and independent. That's why most of the shit they focus on is stuff that doesn't offend their corporate overlords. Why do you think all you hear about all day long is Stormy Daniels, the high turnover in Trump's administration, and Russia? Because those issues don't affect their bottom line. So you're not going to get hosts shitting on TPP all day or saying, hey, we need to go back to having net neutrality rules in place. Not going to happen. Because you try to appease your corporate overlords to the point where they did a segment, it was about 8 or 10 minutes, where all they did was fillet their bosses and say, oh, Comcast cares. Oh, they care so much. They're not a regular corporation that cares about the profit motive like every other corporation on the planet. Their shit doesn't stink. They're wonderful. So I just need everybody to know what's going on here and what they are, and you determine what news outlets you think are more respectable and are more upfront. You know, I like to think on this show, I'll give you news and information, and then I'll also give you my opinion. So you get both things, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But I think the thing that frustrates me more than anything is that guys like the hosts on MSNBC, they act like they're so holier than thou, when in reality, not only are they not holier than thou, they're not even equal to thou, because they have their corporate overlords, they serve their corporate overlords, all the while pretending like, no, we don't have any weird conflicts of interest here, please. Yeah, my ass cheeks, you don't have conflicts of interest.